The Knights win tonight. Everyone is going home with a free McDonald's fry. Get your coupon after the game.
Qdoba Mexican Grill is a proud sponsor of your Corvallis Knights. Food for people who love food. Located off Monroe in Corvallis.
Hey fans, did you know drink? Simply scan the QR code up on the video board to get your favorite TNT Builders Party Deck accessories delivered right to your seat. TNT Builders, deck and patio in the blade now over 25 years. Visit them at TNTBuilder.com.
Hey Knights fans, did you miss our drone light show spectacular last Saturday? Well, lucky for you, we have another show later this summer. Drones take to the Goss Stadium sky once again in an awe-inspiring light show spectacular on Saturday, July 18th. Buy your tickets now at CorvallisKnights.com. This season, the Knights and Top A Material Handling are teaming up once again to support community outreach events. For every stolen base at home this season, the Knights and Top A will each donate $25 to COI. When the total is doubled, when the Knights win. Hey kids, don't forget to run the bases after the game and get player autographs. Courtesy of Old Spaghetti Factory. Once the game is over, access the field near the TNT Builders Party Deck down the third baseline. Parents, get your kids registered for Knights Day King, presented by Nike. Tomorrow is Camp 1 this summer, and we still have a few spots left. Go online to CorvallisKnights.com to sign your camp up while there's still time. Fans, don't forget, fireworks tickets are on sale. July 3rd is our fireworks spectacular following the game, and this game will sell out. Tickets are going fast, so get yours now at CorvallisKnights.com. Tonight's game is sponsored by Ironhead Roofing. Roofing is proud to support Mental Health Awareness Night. As a veteran-owned, American-grown company, they believe strong communities start with supporting one another. Thank you for helping raise awareness and breaking the stigma around mental health. From roofing to solar, they're proud to serve Oregon families. Ironhead Roofing and Ironhead Solar, built on trust, integrity, and innovation.
Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Everett Bartee, Brian Thomas, Haley Lupe, Dale Hummel, and many others. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to a non-league game between the Corvallis Knights out of the West Coast League and the Kevin Gunderson Baseball Academy team. Now, just to let you know, the starting pitcher for Gunderson's Academy is one Jonah Barkoff, a left-hander out of Lake Oswego High School, who the coaches for Gundy's Academy tell me could very well be in the University of Oregon's rotation next spring. He's a good kid that pitched in the Super Regionals, very talented. So the Knights, who've been scuffling a little bit, going into a much, I think, welcome, maybe even needed break to decompress a little bit after playing 12 straight games in 12 days. They had both Monday and Tuesday off. Monday completely off, a bit of a practice yesterday, and now back at it tonight against Gunderson Academy with the Girding Builders, the market men, in town tomorrow night for a 6:35 game. It's Ironhead Roofing Mental Health Awareness Night. Tomorrow night will be Oregon Community CU Baseball Giveaway Night. So make sure you get here early and don't miss the doling out of baseballs to the first fans that get through the gates tomorrow night. Tonight, while it is a non-league game, it sounds as though the Knights will be challenged by the strong pitching of one of the great pitchers in Oregon State baseball history, Kevin Gunderson, who started his baseball academy back in 2014. And speaking of former Oregon State greats, Andrew Moore has returned to his alma mater and was introduced today to the media as the new pitching coach for Mitch Canham's Beavers. Now, this is a little out of our lane, but it is true that at one time, Andrew Moore was ticketed to pitch for the Corvallis Knights in the summer of 2013. As you will hear coming up in the conversation, and as I've already alluded to, Andrew pitched himself out of pitching at all in the summer of 2013 by going 14-2 and helping lead the Beavers to Omaha in his freshman campaign out of North Eugene High School. There are so many things to talk to Andrew about that we barely scratched the surface, but a true pleasure to visit with one of my favorite sons, one of the Oregon State family, one of the great young men ever to come through the program, now back as a 32-year-old pitching coach from Mitch Canham and the Beavers. A conversation with Andrew Moore coming up in 2 minutes on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Fans, if your youth sports team would like to be our Field of Dreams team and join the Knights on the field before a game, visit CorvallisKnights.com for more information and to book your date.
And tonight's first ceremonial pitch will be thrown out by Dax Olsen on behalf of Ironhead Roofing. Let's put our hands together, Knights fans. Great job, Dax. And now, Paventi and Brown Orthodontics Junior pitcher of the game, we have Ben. Great job, Ben.
Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Corvallis Knights playing Gunderson's Baseball Academy tonight. We go off our usual path. Normally I have a Knights player, and we'll get right back to that tomorrow night. But big news today, and this impacts Oregon State baseball, which impacts Corvallis Knights baseball. So it's all in the family here. With a guy that at one time was projected to pitch for the Corvallis Knights, but as I said, made the mistake of going 14-2 and logging a lot of innings in his freshman year. So Andrew Moore never pitched for the Knights, but is now the new pitching coach for Oregon State. Andrew, congratulations. Welcome back. It's been a whirlwind time, I'm sure, for you. It's great to see you again. What's it like to get the call and to be back here at your alma mater?
Yeah, thank you, Mike. It's day 3 on the job here. A ton of learning, a ton of getting my feet under me. But it's great to be back. It's you know how much this place means to me, and the hard work and everything that's been put into this program, and how much it's meant to me over the years, and the impact it's had on the community, like you said. So so far the first 3 days is meeting the people I don't know, and checking out the shiny new toys, and getting to work in the portal. We accepted the job, and then got out here as soon as possible, and since then it's been hitting the ground running, trying to find some new arms and guys that compete for a national championship.
There are a million things to talk about, and we'll have plenty of time in the days ahead. This is a short pregame segment, so let me ask you about family first, though, because you just shared with the media in your introductory press availability that you would do nothing. That's your first and ultimate priority. Many in our community know your wife, Taylor. We admired her at Santiam Christian, then at Oregon State. Can you give us an update about your life with a wonderful person in Taylor and her family, and kind of where they are, where you are with your children, their ages, names, and so on?
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate to have a ton of great people in our corner, and I'm fortunate that Taylor is one of those. She's been through everything in my playing career and now coaching career, and like you said, the last 3 years being coaching. I've been in Ohio, and she's been in Texas with the kids, and running the house by herself. So definitely excited to be with them every single day now, and we got 2 little girls and a little boy, and then another one on the way here.
Do you know the gender?
No, we're keeping it a surprise.
Any day now?
Yeah, almost any day.
Wow.
The due date is technically end of July, but
Okay.
you never know with the 4th one. So, we're excited. We're very blessed. We're, a growing family, but excited to be together, and So.
Well, and you also, Steve, Taylor's family lives close, right? Harrisburg. Is that will that be home base for a while you kind of figure out where it is you're going to settle in Corvallis? Or?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think we're still trying to figure that out, and this all moved pretty quick, and so now I think priority 1 is making sure everything's good with Taylor and with the baby, and getting them squared away, and then from there, we'll figure out the details. So a lot of people reaching out and offering to help in any way they can, and we're extremely grateful for that. But in terms of what the long-term plan is, we'll have to see, and kind of just taking it one step at a time right now.
Andrew Moore, new pitching coach at Oregon State. Last couple of things, Andrew. You mentioned all the toys you have to work with here. This is the one sort of baseball question I'm interested in you've been, with the Guardians at AAA, but the resources here, you say, are pretty good, pretty similar. Maybe 1 or 2 things at that level you've been working that you have, but do you feel good about the toys you have at Oregon State?
Yeah, absolutely. The pitching lab is new. We didn't have any of that. Again, those are great tools and ways to get pitchers better. Is it absolutely necessary? Probably not, but we're going to use them to the absolute best of their ability, and they're all resources I've used plenty with, definitely in coaching, and some with, giving lessons or in my playing days. So, I would say the resources we have up in the pitching lab, and, Brad and his team on the analytics side, what they can bring to the table is as good as anyone. And that's a huge part of why I believe this was a great fit. Being able to come in and have a pretty, blank slate of what this pitching staff could look like and will look like, and the development that's going to happen to be able to compete at a high level.
Andrew, I mentioned this is the Knights. We'll close on this. We'll touch on so many other things here: personnel, recruiting, the portal, all of those important things you're working on right now in the first 3 days on the job. But this is the Knights live stream, and an announcement was made about the continued development of this beautiful ballpark, which will, part of that piece will be a permanent clubhouse and home for the Knights players and it tells me how integrated baseball is in this community. I know you were going to play for the Knights. You had a great freshman year and logged so many innings that you ended up not doing that. But could you maybe speak to that piece of it? It's new to you, new to all of us. But I guess the relationship between summer ball here with the Knights and Oregon State.
Yeah, it's a great place to play. Obviously Oregon State, but also summer ball for the Knights. It's a great league, but especially here where world-class facilities, and then now, adding to that with the addition of Goss Stadium, and we're extremely excited for that. So, somewhere that means a lot to the community, to the athletes here at Oregon State, but also anyone that's played here. It's we're very fortunate to be able to have people that believe in the program and the university as much as they do, and that money is going to go to the student athlete experience, the fan experience, and just continue making this one of the most special places in college baseball and summer baseball, and just the country as a whole.
Andrew, it's great to have you back. Since we've been talking, your phone's been blowing up. You got a million things to do. Thanks for making a few minutes. I look forward to a lot of time together in the days and years ahead. But it's so great to welcome you home, Andrew. Thanks for the time.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Go Beavs.
Andrew Moore joining me. Our first pitch just around the corner. The Knights in a non-league game against Gundy's Baseball Academy. That's coming up after this 2-minute break on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Kellen Siegel. In left field, wearing number 31 from LMU, Ari Silva. And first base, wearing number 34 from Oregon State University, Josh Nata. And second base, wearing number 20 from UCLA, and shortstop, wearing number 28 from UC Santa Barbara, Ryan Severns. And third base, wearing number 20 from UC Santa Barbara, Maverick Russell. Wearing number 17, playing catcher's unit from the University of Portland, Carter Stewart. And the man on the mound this evening, wearing number 42 from the University of Portland, Morgan Cadre. Now, fans, we ask that you please rise and we'll down for very long. If you are a current or former serving member of the military, please feel free to run the military salute for the playing of tonight's national anthem. And now we're going to throw it back down to
Them playing out here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on this 24th of June, 2026. The Corvallis Knights and the Gunderson Baseball Academy squaring off. The Knights take the field. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both clubs and what has been a warm 90+ degree day today. Cooling off, and as they said ominously in one of the Littlefoot movies, everywhere things are changing. Yes, we're going to see a significant change in the weather in the last. Changing how? Well, clouds and a chance of rain even coming in the next few days. But tonight, another beautiful summer night under the sun. And great to be with you here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field with Gunderson Academy in for a non-league game. Another non-league game tomorrow. And the Knights will take her north to Chemeketa Community College in a 3-game series with the Marion Berries this weekend. Now we're going to take a look at the starting lineup for Kevin Gunderson's program. He's not the head coach, but the former Beaver great, one of the outstanding pitchers that helped lead the Beavers to Omaha in 2005 and 6, and was on the mound when the Beavers got the final out against North Carolina. North Carolina, by the way, still looking, aren't they? Ran into Pat Casey and the Beavers 2 years in a row, just haven't been able to break through and get over the top for their own national championship experience. Certainly had a good look at it in 06. Kevin Gunderson, a big part of why North Carolina was denied in Omaha 20 years ago. But for Kevin Gunderson's Baseball Academy, leading off in center field, Noah Boria. Batting second at second base, Tyler Sconfienza. Hitting third at shortstop, Tyler Jones. Brady Ackerman, the son of Ken, the former outstanding sports anchor and reporter on television in Portland. Brady Ackerman, the cleanup hitter, batting fourth at third base. Kellen Sheldon hitting fifth at first base. Karsten Lemon is batting sixth in right field. Colby Heron hitting seventh. And Colby will get the start in right. I think I transposed. Karsten Lemon is catching, pardon me, with Colby Heron in right field. Hudson Hammersley batting eighth in left field. And Cody Samaza, the designated hitter, with the aforementioned left-hander Jonah Barkoff on the mound. Morgan Codron for the Knights delivering a first pitch strike to Noah Boria. The strike one pitch from Morgan a little low and away. 1-1 the count as we get underway on a picturesque evening here in the Mid-Valley. Codron under the bright sun, big leg kick, delivers breaking ball grounded to the left of Knight shortstop Ryan Severns. Picks it up and slings it over to first to Josh Natai for the out. The ball game underway on a good note for the Corvallis Knights. One away and Tyler Sconfienza, the batter. For the Corvallis Knights tonight, leading off in center field, Kellen Siegel. Batting second at second base, Tate Hammond. Fastball for Morgan Codron under the hand, swung on and missed by Tyler Sconfienza. 0-1 the count. Ryan Severns hitting third at short. Carter Stewart, the cleanup hitter and catching. The quick working Codron again pumps a fastball on the outer half. So he's done a nice job in and out to Sconfienza to jump ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Jones on deck. Codron whips the leg around a la Groucho in Animal Crackers and other films, and comes to the plate and bounces it past his battery mate, Carter Stewart. A very nimble Groucho in the early days. Coconuts, Animal Crackers, etc. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. A good start for the Knights. Morgan Codron getting Boria to ground out, strikes out Sconfienza, and Tyler Jones will come to the plate. Finishing out the Knights lineup, Josh Natai batting sixth at first base. Maverick Russell is batting fifth at third. Josh Natai hitting sixth at first base. Xavier Rios hitting seventh, the designated hitter. Ari Silva getting his first chance to play a position for the Knights, batting eighth in left field. Mark Carpenter batting ninth in right, and Codron now on the mound. And his first pitch fastball to Tyler Jones is a strike. 0-1 the count. Morgan filling up the zone here early. Morgan peering in to Carter Stewart. Kicks and comes back 0-1. Breaking ball misses in the count 1-1. Morgan Codron and Carter Stewart, the battery for the Knights. Josh Natai at first, Tate Hammond at second, Ryan Severns at short, Maverick Russell at third. Fast break pitching for Morgan Codron, back to the plate and misses down and away, ball 2. 2-1. In the outfield, Ari Silva in left, Kellen Siegel in center, Mark Carpenter in right. 2 outs, nobody on top of the first. The 2-1 pitch, slap foul at the plate, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Jones out of Woodinville, had played at Oregon, now in the transfer portal for young Tyler. Jake Anders, the head coach for Gunderson Academy, coaching at third. Mitch Moses coaching at first. The 2-2 pitch from Codron, slow off-speed pitch, tapped slowly to short. Severns in front of the bag, moves to his left, goes down to get it, and throws to first for the out. And the Knights, who have been seeking cleaner innings of late in their struggles, they've lost 7 of their last 9, get a nice 1-2-3 inning from the start. And now highly regarded left-hander Jonah Barkov goes to the mound. Jonah, according to the coaching staff for Gunderson Academy, has a very good chance of being in Oregon's rotation next spring. That's all you need to know about the high ceiling for young Jonah Barkov. He begins to loosen. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Gunderson with the Knights coming up. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Bottom of the first inning, no score. Gunderson Academy retired in order. The Girding Builders market men here tomorrow will be on the air at 6:20. And then it's back to the rigors of what has been a very challenging West Coast League season. The Knights at Marion over the weekend. Left-hander Jonah Barkov goes to work on Knights leadoff hitter Kellen Siegel. Kellen swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Kellen Siegel, Tate Hammond, and Ryan Severns. Jonah Barkov under the bright sunshine. The lefty rocks, kicks, and comes back and misses up and away with a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jonah working with battery mate Karsten Lemon with Kellen Sheldon at first, Tyler Sconvienza at second, Tyler Jones at short, Brady Ackerman at third. Fastball just misses to Kellen Siegel. 2-1 the count. Hudson Hammersley in left, Noah Boria in center, Colby Heron in right. 2-1 to Kellen Siegel. Barkov delivers. Breaking ball grounded wide of third and through into left field. Base hit. Kellen Siegel, the leadoff base hit, and that'll bring to the plate Tate Hammond. With the Knights trying to get right. The last couple of days, I think, have been useful just with respect to get a little time off. Think about things a little. Reagan! At some point, come up. Reagan, at some point, come up, I ask. The pitch on the way, missing down and in to Tate Hammond. Ball 1-0. I'm asking my friend Reagan, who is on the staff of Ironhead Roofing Company here as part of Ironhead Roofing Mental Health Awareness Night. Nice to see you, Reagan. Is Lydia here yet? Almost here, thank you. The pitch on the way, fastball swung on and missed. and the count 1-1 to Tate Hammond. So she found a cat, or is helping to save a cat, because earlier today she saw a notice for a lost cat, and she thinks she's found that cat, or it's a, what? Oh my gosh, okay. Is it still alive, the cat? Okay. Well, my daughter Lydia was on her way to this game to be part of Ironhead Roofing Mental Health Awareness Night with her friend Reagan, and saw a cat get hit by a car en route to the ballpark. And so she, of course, stopped and is trying to help get that cat some emergency veterinary help. And it looks like the cat may survive. So thank you, Lydia, for doing that. Thank you, Reagan, for letting me know. The pitch on the way down and in, dropped by Karsten Lemon and Kellen Siegel into second base with a count of 2 balls and a strike to Tate Hammond. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Left-hander Jonah Barkoff from the stretch delivers a fly ball to left. Kellen will get back on the bag and should be able to advance 90. Hudson Hammersley the catch, and Siegel races to third and gets there. One away, a productive out for left-hand hitting Tate Hammond. A high fly ball to the opposite field, but deep enough to get Kellen moved across. And that'll bring Ryan Severns to the plate. I'm going to ask Reagan here, how many people roughly from your company are here tonight, roughly? 10 employees of Ironhead Roofing are here and helping to create awareness for the issues in our community, mental health issues and so on. I thank you for doing that, Reagan. Good to have you here. The pitch to Ryan Severns misses for ball 1. No score in the bottom of the first. Jonah Barkoff, left-hander who played for Jake Anders at Lake Oswego, delivers, and a ground ball on 2 hops to short. It'll score a run. Tyler Jones fields and throws out Severns, but Ryan gets his job done. Kellen Siegel trots down the line to score. The Knights lead it 1-0. The infield playing back to give up a run to get an out, but that's precisely what happens, and it's good work on the part of the Knights. A leadoff single, a wild pitch, fly out to left, moves Siegel across, and Kellen's able to score on the 1-out grounder. Carter Stewart, the batter, left on left, and the first pitch from Jonah Barkoff misses down and away. Jonah missed most of his freshman year with Oregon and was bound this year for a pretty big role. Ended up injuring his ankle somewhere along the way, I'm told, during the season, and was out for a good stretch, but appeared against Texas in the Super Regional in Austin. So that's the kind of the way Oregon thinks of this young man. Highly regarded pitcher out of Lake Oswego High School, getting ready for his 3rd year down the road. He delivers to Carter Stewart, swung on and missed. The count 1-2, 2 outs, nobody on. 1-0 Knights in the bottom of the first inning. A triple shake, almost going Juan Marichal on Orspani. The lefty delivers a 1-2 breaking ball down. Marichal and others would take a long time getting the sign from their catcher, Louis Tion, too, because they had so many pitches in their repertoire. Sometimes they would shake off just to get the hitter to think, well, how many pitches does this guy have? The 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball taken, strike 3 called. Jonah Barkoff knows his way around a mound, does he not? He does, but the Knights get to him for a run on a hit, no errors, nobody left. 1 inning in on a great day for baseball at Oregon State and for the Corvallis Knights, which we'll talk about as we go. At the end of 1, the Knights won and Gunderson Academy nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Show off your team pride. You want to know who?
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Top of the second inning, 1-0 Knights. Brady Ackerman will lead things off. Big left-handed hitter for Gunderson Academy. Ackerman, 6', 220 out of Canby High School and playing at Arizona Christian. Morgan Codron delivers, fastball to Brady, swung on and missed. Big right-handed hitter, Brady Ackerman. And his papa, I'm told, is in the ballpark with a ZZ Top type beard. The strike one pitch runs and on appeal swings as the base umpire. Good opportunity to introduce our arbiters tonight. Ed Smith back of the plate with Jackson Clark, who just said swing on Ackerman's check. 0-2 the count to Brady. Codron delivers, change in there, strike three called, one away. A three-pitch strikeout of Brady Ackerman. Kellen Sheldon will come to the plate. I haven't seen Ken Ackerman for a long time. I've been looking around the ballpark on this beautiful Wednesday evening for a ZZ Top type beard. That's what I'm told Ken sports. He was very clean cut in his television days in the city of Portland. Outstanding anchor, sports anchor through the years when the sports segments on local television were bigger deals than unfortunately they are in the more recent years. Ken was a great reporter. The pitch to Kellen Sheldon missing, and the count goes to 2-0. Karsten Lemon on deck. Codron's 2-0 pitch outside, ball three. 3-0 to Kellen Sheldon. Kellen also played for Coach Anders at Lake Oswego and is also at Arizona Christian. And he gets a 4-pitch walk here from Morgan Codron. Ball four, down and in. And that'll bring to the plate Karsten Lemon. Karsten is catching tonight for Gunderson. Baseball also does some pitching. He too is out of Lake Oswego and attends Lynn Benton Community College. First pitch fastball, quite a breeze coming up here. I don't need that piece of paper anymore, Reagan, actually, so we can crumple it up and you could turn it into a paper airplane and see if you can get it to the field, perhaps. The strike one pitch is in there for strike two. No balls and 2 strikes to Karsten Lemon. Thank you. 1-0 Knights in the top of the second inning. Codron back to the plate, and strike three called again. He takes something off and has on 2 called third strikes here in the top of the second. That'll bring Colby Heron to the plate. Gunderson, a legend at Oregon State and one of my favorite Beavers in the history of the program. Good to see him in uniform tonight. He is not always in uniform, but coming back to his alma mater and working with Jonah Barkov and Gabe Howard, who've been clients of his in the Gunderson Academy for many years. Important for Gundy to come back home, as it were. And the pitch on the way to Colby Heron, fouled away towards Waldo Hall. Colby has attended Yakima Valley out of Canby High School. Colby in the portal looking for a landing spot. There goes the runner. He got a good jump. The throw to second, though, is well made by Carter Stewart to Ryan Severns for the tag and out. on Kellen Sheldon to retire the side. Kellen's jump was pretty good, but Carter Stewart's pop time and accurate throw even better. And down go the Academy players for Gundy here in the second. No runs, no hits, nobody left. To the bottom of the second we go. The Knights won, Gunderson nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Third baseman from UC Santa Barbara, number 20, Matt Russell.
Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Knights. Left-hander Jonah Barkov ready to go to Maverick Russell. A left-on-left matchup. Previously a Big Ten matchup. Those old Big Ten rivals, Oregon and UCLA. Barkov delivers to Maverick a strike. Now Maverick on his way to the University of California, Santa Barbara. The strike one pitch on the way, breaking ball up from Jonah Barkov. 1-1 the count. Between innings, Ross Durfelt, the public address announcer, talked about the gift that was made today, the announcement of the $15 million anonymous gift to the Oregon State baseball program. Russell, a line drive that Tyler Sconfienza adroitly catches. He took a couple of steps to his right when the line drive first came off of Russell's bat, then reached back to his left and caught it a little bit awkwardly, as it were, but he gets the job done. A good catch on a well-hit ball by Russell. One away, Josh Natai, the batter. Josh playing at first base tonight for the Knights, who lead it 1-0 in the second. Barkov to the plate, fastball swung on and missed. The $15 million gift will enable Goss Stadium at Coleman Field to receive a full and permanent bleacher location beyond the right field fence, not just temporary in nature as they have been out there the last few years. The pitch to Natai hit foul off to the right and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Part of Mitch Canham's vision with the Oregon State program is to have that bleacher connected to Casey Corner, the Fitzpatrick party deck as it is in the summertime. But Casey Corner and right to be connected to give a full feel. The pitch is a check swing by Natai. He misses the ball in the turf, picked up by Karsten Lemon. Throws down to first for the out, 2 down. That was not part of the announcement, but I believe it's part of the vision. A man of vision, they say. One of the great finishes to a television series. Man of vision, they say. Tommy Lee Jones. You know. The great show, Lonesome Dove. That wonderful little montage at the end when he's thinking back. Man of vision, they say. Yeah, heck of a vision. I'm cleaning up his language, but it is a great vision. And Mitch Canham, man of vision, they say. Yeah, heck of a vision. He has a vision for the completion of this ballpark, which includes that new right field structure to be connected to Casey Corner. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed by Xavier Rios. 1-1, 2 down, bottom of the second, 1-0 Knights. so that there can be, a la Beaver Street at Reser Stadium, the ability for fans out in the bleachers to get into the ballpark here and be able to walk around and see friends and use the concession stands within while having seats out in right. The right field bleachers have been somewhat secluded from all of that, excluded in a way from the fullness of the experience of the ballpark. The 1-2 pitch just outside to Xavier Rios, ball 2, 2-2. But the big piece that makes it even more exciting for baseball in the community and Knights fans in particular is the $15 million gift also stipulates, and the Knights and Beavers have had a great working relationship. There will be a permanent clubhouse in that right field area. The 2-2 fastball from Barkov to Rios, taken, strike 3 call. Barkov retires the Knights in order. Offices and clubhouse facilities for Corvallis Knights baseball. It'll be state of the art and as good as anything comes in the West Coast League, and just a continued building of baseball in this community. The relationship, the marriage between Oregon State and the Knights, which has been such a great one, will be utterly enhanced. And so that $15 million anonymous gift was announced earlier today, as well as Andrew Moore being available as the new pitching coach at Oregon State. And a lot of scheduling announcements were made as well about Oregon State baseball next spring. But great news for Beaver baseball and Knights baseball going into a bright, bold future. We go to the third inning, 1-0 Knights, back in 60. We'll take a 60-second break here. Back in 60 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
A couple of birthdays we want to wish today. First of all, happy birthday to Mo. Baseball has been very, very good for you. Next we have happy birthday, Bob. Happy 9th birthday, buddy. I love you. Fans, don't forget, fireworks tickets are on sale now. Grab your tickets early to July 3rd's post-game fireworks show, presented by Oregon State Credit Union. This game will sell out. Visit CorvallisKnights.com to snag your seats today. Moving off for Gunderson, the right fielder number 5, Kobe Herring.
Top of the third inning, 1-0 Knights. Morgan Codron to Colby Heron. The first pitch missing to Colby. The 1-0 pitch is down and in for ball 2, 2-0. Codron working very quickly. Morgan to the plate. Fastball, a fly ball to left field. Ari Silva on the run, can't get it, gets by him all the way to the Fortis construction sign. He picks it up at the base of the fence in left center. And Colby Heron pulls into second with a leadoff double for Gunderson Academy. Hudson Hammersley will be the hitter, also out of Lake Oswego High School, playing for Jake Anders. Jake goes through the signs at third. For Hudson, who is on his way to the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, his dad, Grant Hammersley, is one of the coaches for this Gunderson Academy team, which is playing just its third game this summer, but they're scheduled just now essentially getting underway. They'll play 30 games this summer, including another one with the Knights here later this year. They'll play the Bellingham Bells along the way this summer. They're involved in a tournament right now, the Kurt Daniels tournament in Vancouver, Washington. They'll be playing in that again tomorrow. The first pitch to Hammersley in there for a strike. Codron back to the plate, the 0-1 pitch, missing down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Gunderson began his academy in 2014 to work with pitchers primarily, and it's still a specialty for the great relief pitcher here at Oregon State, Kevin Gunderson. The 1-1 pitch missing high and away to Hudson, ball 2, 2-1. And Gundy was the pitching coach, assistant coach for one of the summers here for a West Coast League championship with the Knights. Brooke Knight and the Knights in 2017, part of the 7 consecutive championships. Gundy was the pitching coach for the 17 Knights. Great baseball man. The pitch ruled foul, slowly outside of third. Hammersley now with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes with Colby Heron at second, nobody out. 1-0 Knights in the third. Codron's fastball in there. Strike 3 called. Hammersley not able to get the runner moved. Cody Samaza will be the batter. Samaza out of Tom Hewitt country and West Seattle High School and attending Yakima Valley Community College. Right-hand hitting DH, trying to get Gunderson even here in the third. Codron delivers. First pitch strike. 0-1 the count. Gundy met his wife Bryn here at Oregon State when they were together here in the early to mid 2000s. They have 2 kids now, and one of them here. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Codron ahead 0-2. It was great to meet young Maddox, 11 years of age. Maddox, Gunderson, and Carter is the eldest at 14. It does fly. Talking to Andrew Moore today. I remember interviewing him when he was at North Eugene High School. Slider swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2 down. 1-0 Knights in the third. I mean, that feels like yesterday to me, watching Andrew pitch at North Eugene, and went down there, saw him pitch a playoff game, and conducted my first of what has become many interviews with him through the years. Another one today, which we heard tonight here on our pregame show. But it does fly. Andrew Moore now married with 3 kids, and with apologies to Loretta Lynn, one's on the way. Breaking ball strike. My daughter Lydia arrives, having saved a cat, I think, earlier today. I need to get that whole story. The strike 1 pitch is lifted foul above the Omaha room and out of play. The Omaha room coming into existence because of the work of many, including Kevin Gunderson, helping lead the Beavers there in 05, getting the save in the championship game in 06. The strike 2 pitch, a ground ball to the left of Knights second baseman Tate Hammond. Tate throws to first, and the inning is over. Good work by Morgan Codron after the leadoff double by Colby Heron. But Andrew Moore back with his wife Taylor Woods and their 3 kids, and one due any time now, as Andrew shared with us earlier, with Steve and Terry Woods living down in Harrisburg. And it's a great spot for Andrew and Taylor, a former volleyball player at Oregon State, to kind of hang out, wait, take care of the baby in the early days while Andrew goes to work in his early days as the new pitching coach back at his alma mater. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Knights over Gunderson, back in 90 on the live stream and Joe Radio.
With the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Corvallis. Ari Silva, the batter. The pitch to Ari, the batter, is a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Ari ticketed to be a two-way player at Loyola Marymount. out of McClatchy High School in Sacramento. And the two-way aspect of his game may come more into play as the summer goes along here with the Knights. Heretofore, he has just been a pitcher. The 1-2 breaking ball pulled on a couple of hops to the second baseman, Tyler Scott first, one away, and Mark Carpenter, the batter. I had the pleasure of meeting Ari's mother, Stacy Silva, who's in town, watching her son play here for a few days. Met her at a Jamo establishment in downtown Corvallis yesterday, maybe. It's all a big, beautiful blur and blends together after a while, and it's hard to keep each moment and day completely distinct from the other. But it was recently Stacy Silva who told me, you know, Ari's a two-way player. He hasn't had any at-bats yet. Well, that was just yesterday. Here he is in the lineup tonight, so the word has gotten to, and maybe it was the plan all along. But Ari, in his first at-bat with the Knights, albeit an unofficial one in this non-league game, grounds out. Mark Carpenter takes a strike. 1-1 the count to Mark. 1-0 Knights, bottom of the third inning. Left-hander Jonah Barkoff turns and comes to the plate. Fastball lifted to right and playable for Colby Heron. Colby moves in a few steps and makes the catch. They're quickly two away in the bottom of the third with the Knights in front, 1-0. Kellen Siegel singled to left in the first inning, went to second and a wild pitch with nobody out, advanced to third on a fly out, and then came home on an RBI ground out from Ryan Severns. That's the lone run in this non-league affair. 2 outs, nobody on. Jonah Barkoff to the plate, swung on and fouled at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. The anonymous gift to Oregon State baseball stipulated the provision about the Knights being well tended and taken care of, which again is just part of the realization of a wonderful vision that Dan Siegel and Pat Casey had together back when in 2006 conversations took place to bring the Corvallis Knights here. And so here we are 20 years later with the announcement. The pitch to Kellen Siegel, Dan's son, hit foul into Urchin Alley over my head to the right, the count 0-2. And 20 years later, here we are with the announcement of a $15 million anonymous gift that will lead to the building of some beautiful bleacher facilities out in right that will also serve as clubhouse and office space for the Knights, and a big step forward in the organization's history. Jonah Barkoff delivers, strike 3 called on the inner half, and that's that for the Knights in the third. We go to the fourth, the Knights 1 and Gunderson 0 back in 90 on the live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Second baseman, number 4, Tyler Sconfienta.
Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Corvallis 1 run, 1 hit, and 0 errors. Gunderson 0 runs, 1 hit, and 0 errors. 1-0 as we go to the 4th. Just wanted to see what it feels like to talk that way. Tyler Sconvienza swings at the first pitch from Morgan Codron and pulls it foul outside of third. No balls and a strike. I'm saying we live in the age of 0. 2 words that are very popular these days that weren't in my day: super and 0. Yeah, super cool. I had a super good time. Super that, right? And 0 runs, 0 hits instead of no. The count, yeah, people don't say 0-2 much. People still say the count is 0-2. But I hear a lot of young people talking about the score at the end of 3 innings is 1-0, you know, that type of thing, not 1-0. The 2-1 pitch from Morgan Codron, missing down and away. Ball 3, 3-1. No big deal, none of this stuff really is, but it is curious to me. 3 balls and a strike. Tyler Sconvienza, Tyler Jones, and Brady Ackerman for Gunderson. The 3-1 pitch chopped foul towards Coach Anders, and the count goes full to 3-2. Sconvienza struck out swinging in the first. 5 strikeouts through 3 innings for Knights right-hander Morgan Codron. Morgan shaking off his battery mate Carter Stewart. Big leg kick and delivers. Strike 3 called with a slider on the inside corner. 1 away. Really good pitch that caught a piece of the plate, according to Ed Smith. I'm not sure Tyler Sconvienza saw it that way. Down he goes. Tyler, by the way, out of Reynolds High School and playing at Mount Hood Community College. Tyler Jones grounded to short in his first at-bat, looking for the landing spot out of the portal. Tyler takes a strike, had been at the University of Oregon out of Marcus Tuiasosopo country and Woodinville High School. Morgan strike 1, breaking ball is down, 1-1 the count. Morgan Codron and Carter Stewart the battery for the Knights. Josh Natai at first, Tate Hammett at second, Ryan Severance at short, Maverick Russell at third. A chopper to the left of the mound, barehanded by Codron, and fires a strike to Josh Natai for the out, 2 down. Nice play by Morgan, and he made it look easy. Kind of a nonchalant, just barehanded grab of a chopper that could have been problematic, but he made it look easy. Good job by Big Morgan. 2 down. Codron, the 6'5", 215-pound junior right-hander out of Morro Bay High School, Los Osos, and competing for the Portland Pilots. Big leg kick and deliver. Slider swung on and missed. 0-1 the count to Brady Ackerman, who struck out looking in the second. Morgan has appeared in 39 games on the bluff for the Portland Pilots. Another good breaking ball. That's in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. I feel tonight like Robert Wool and Bull Durham. Easy game. Yeah, easy game. Just throwing strikes. Easy game. 1-0 Knights in the 4th. It is a non-league game. Exaggeratedly open stance for Brady Ackerman. Dick McAuliffe-esque. Codron ready, the strike 2 bouncing breaking ball to the backstop. Now he closes it up as the pitch comes plateward. But when he begins from the right side, Brady Ackerman, son of Ken, exaggeratedly open. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the pitch comes plateward, then he gets a little bit more orthodox. A 1-2 pitch, check swing. This time no swing, says Jackson Clark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carter Stewart was backpedaling his way towards the Knights dugout on the third base side, thinking that Morgan had another strikeout. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball, now he does. Strike 3 called. And the inning is over. Morgan Codron is pitching very well. So is his counterpart, Jonah Barkoff. The scoreboard reflects it. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Knights won, and Gunderson nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
For a lot of people, and honestly, it still does for many. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pups got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Knights, the second baseman from UCLA, number 10, Tate Hammond.
Jonah Barkoff goes to work, and he has been working impressively thus far. To Tate Hammond and misses high. The Knights leading Gunderson Academy 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Tate plied to left field in the first inning. That advanced Kellen Siegel. He ropes one to right here. Base hit. Colby Heron plays it on a hop. A couple of good swings tonight for Tate Hammond. And that'll bring to the plate Ryan Severns, who had an RBI ground out in the first, bringing home the game's lone run. Barkoff has pitched extremely well, working with battery mate Karsten Lemon. Kellen Sheldon at first, Tyler Sconvienza at second, Tyler Jones at short, Brady Ackerman at third. The first pitch is popped up into shallow center field. Noah Boria moving in on it, and Boria makes the catch. One away. Tate Hammond holds at first, and Carter Stewart, the batter. In the outfield for the Academy, Hudson Hammersley in left, Boria in center, and Colby Heron in right. Carter struck out looking in the left-on-left matchup in the first inning. The only run of the ball game coming in the first. Kellen Siegel led off with a single to second on a wild pitch, advanced to third on a fly ball from Tate Hammond, and scored on Severns' RBI groundout. A throw to first, and Tate Hammond, being held on by Kellen Sheldon, gets back to the bag. First pitch just misses inside to Carter. Ball one, 1-0. Glad to see my daughter Lydia has made it safe and sound into the ballpark. Unfortunately, sad news in the ending of her story. Not able to save the cat. There goes Hammond, a ground ball to second. The only play for Sconvienza is to first. Tate Hammond advances to second. Two down with Carter Stewart grounding out Maverick Russell, who lined out in the second inning, the batter. And Lydia did tell me just between innings that it's not as though I didn't understand the full story until she arrived. She said the cat had already died before she stopped to try to help it. She did take it to the Humane Society, where they can check for a chip and get in touch with the owners. The pitch to Maverick Russell, down and away, ball one, 1-0. She had thought that, and earlier today, with my daughter getting ready to move to Ireland in less than 3 weeks now for a graduate studies program offered there, that she's very interested in. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1 to Maverick. She'll be going to university in Limerick, living in Cork, the university in Limerick, not far from there. Quite an adventure ahead for our precious, but we had seen a poster of a cat missing, and she thought it might have been the cat that she had found. Ground ball to second, backhanded by Scott Vienza. A one-hop throw to first. Nice dig by Kellen Sheldon, and the Knights are gone. But with the days kind of dwindling down to a precious few, we took advantage of the 90-degree heat today and floated the Willamette River. Just my daughter and yours truly, and it was a wonderful time on the river on a hot and gorgeous day in the Willamette Valley. Good to see her at the ballpark tonight, and just good to see her. You understand what I'm saying? We are through 4. It's the Knights 1 and Gunderson nothing. A new pitcher coming in for the Knights. We'll find out whom when we return back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Tonight's game is sponsored by Ironhead Roofing. Ironhead Roofing is proud to support Mental Health Awareness Night.
No matter what team you're on, no matter where you explore, there's a Richardson for you. We don't just give you our word, we give you our name. We started over 50 years ago as a hometown sporting goods business, with a particular devotion to America's pastime. As we grew, so did demand for our products, both on and off the field of play. Today, we serve teams, brands, and businesses, and we've earned our reputation as the best. We did it through our devotion to our craft and our customers. We've built our business on the spirit of competition and the thrill of adventure, with a relentless focus on details and an enduring commitment to quality in every stitch. We've set a high bar for ourselves because you've made our team part of your team. And your team deserves the best.
With the new joke. Can't tell. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Knights. Dakota Chun appears to be the new pitcher for the Corvallis Knights, taking over after Morgan Codron struck out 7 and was really dynamic in his outing. Dakota, also out of the University of Portland and out of Sunset High School in Honolulu on the beautiful island of Oahu. He was a position player for the Pilots this past spring for the most part. 44 games with the Pilots on the Bluff. Hit .230 with 3 homers. Gatorade State the 6A state title with Sunset on Oahu in 2025. First pitch that he gets over the plate, Kellen Sheldon drives into right for a base hit. Kellen had walked against Morgan Codron. He gets a leadoff single here in the top of the 5th inning. And that'll bring to the plate Karsten Lemon. Anytime I see Paul walk up, he's looking at me, so I've done something wrong or amiss or said something that isn't quite right, so I'll find out here in a moment what it is. We all stumble in many ways, says St. James, who was right. That's a truth from 2,000 years ago. In many ways, we all offend. I think it's the KJV and all. But he's saying in many ways we all stumble, and that we all stumble in many ways. So I'm about to find out my latest. The pitch on the way hit foul into the netting, and the count goes to 0-2 to Karsten Lemon with the tying run. Kellen Sheldon at first, 1 out in the 5th. What's up? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, this is Nate, and thank you. The scoreboard is probably right. It's not Dakota Chun. I didn't think it was. We haven't heard from Chun forever. It's Nathan Marshall wearing 8, but the roster that I have in 2 places, and I trust Paul on that. He's right. I'm glad he came up. I know that there's always a purpose in his step when he comes up to see me, a direct, purposeful stride to come look at me to tell me where I had erred. And I was greatly wrong, very wrong, super wrong. as they say. Ground ball to short. Ryan Severns goes to Hammond for one on to first. Double play. Nicely done. Severns to Hammond to Natai behind Nate Marshall. And there are two down. Now, somehow, some way, the Knights roster didn't indicate that, even the lineup card tonight. So, again, I know that we live in an age where everybody the other guy, the guy that was in office before, everything's his fault. Well, okay, all I'm saying is whoever printed the roster off still has Chun wearing number 8, and even tonight's lineup card still has Dakota Chun at number 8. So my apologies for getting it wrong. It was very wrong. The strike one pitch now to Colby Heron inside. Let's see what we had Nathan Marshall as. Don't even have him. So he's wearing number 8 and pitching and delivers good slider. And Ed Smith doesn't need help. Colby Heron went around in the count 1-2. Colby doubled to left. The lone hit through 4 strong innings by Knights right-hander Morgan Codron. 1-2, 2 down, 1-0 Knights in the 5th. Marshall delivers, swung on and missed, strike 3, and the breaking ball to retire the side. A leadoff single, but a double play ball, 6-4-3, and down go the Gunderson Academy players in the 5th with Nathan Marshall working well. Thank you, Paul, for that. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Knights 1 and Gunderson nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. The new pitcher for Gunderson Academy is right-hander Gabe Howard, 6'3", 205-pounder out of West Lynn High School, graduated there in 24, competing at the University of Oregon, as was his predecessor, the left-hander Jonah Barkoff, who pitched well. Jonah Barkoff, by the way, pitched in the Super Regionals against Texas and Austin, and after maybe a start, an appearance or two, including tonight for Gunderson Academy, will be going back to the Cape to sharpen his skills. So this is a really, in a sense, a nice treat for Knights fans and the Knights players to compete against a guy that is highly regarded enough to be considered to pitch in Oregon's rotation next spring. First pitch, fastball to Josh Natai, a strike from Gabe Howard. The 0-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. And Josh is behind the count. No balls and 2 strikes to right-hander Gabe Howard, leading things off against Natai. Jake Holcroft walking through the Jack Riley Concourse. The strike 2 pitch, a check swing, no swing, the pitch to the backstop. One of the great Knights players of all time, Jake Holcroft, coaching for the Portland Pilots and is here. I asked him why. He said, well, recruiting, looking, observing, evaluating. A lot of players in the portal now looking for landing spots. Jake Holcroft with the Portland Pilots staff in the ballpark. Natai takes a fastball high. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Josh. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Knights. Breezes are picking up. It was a gorgeous and hot day into the 90s today, cooling off nicely as always here this evening. 2-2 pitch on appeal, check swing down and in, no swing. Again, says Jackson Clark, and Josh has run the count full from 0-2 to 3-2, leading things off for the Knights against Gabe Howard in the bottom of the 5th. Gabe works from the stretch. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. 1 away, and Xavier Rios will be the hitter. Xavier struck out looking against Jonah Barkov. Both starters acquitted themselves impressively in this non-league game. Now a bullpen affair with Gabe Howard in. His first pitch is a fastball to Xavier Rios that runs down and in, ball 1. The only run coming in the first inning. The Knights another non-leaguer tomorrow against the Girding Builders. The pitch to Rios, a line drive to the right of Brady Ackerman, who twists and spears it for out number 2. Nice play.
Now batting the left fielder from LMU, number 31, Ari Silva.
And with 2 down, Ari Silva, the batter. Ari grounded out in his first at-bat. His mother, Stacy, works with the Girl Scouts in Sacramento. Really a good programming going on with the school districts in Sacramento, with the Girl Scouts and the Girl Scouts in the Sacramento area providing some care within the school districts in Sacramento. It's been a great relationship between the school district and the great organization, the Girl Scouts, that Ari Silva's mom works for. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike to Ari. 1-1 the count. The pitch to Ari missing down and away, and Ari has a sister who is playing collegiate soccer at St. Mary's College, and her first ever goal was right here at Lorenz Field on the pitch this past spring. So the Silva family, great associations with this town. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. And like most people, Stacy said she'd never been here before, came up to see Ari play some Corvallis Knights baseball, and has fallen in love with the town, the community, this campus, going on runs and walks through the campus, and just said it's incredible, and she's right. 2 outs, nobody on, 1-0 Knights in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-2 pitch lifted foul off to the left and out of play. Mark Carpenter on deck. 1-0 Knights in the bottom of the 5th inning. Gabe Howard works from the stretch, comes to the plate, fastball foul back by Ari. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sidney Pointer is here tonight, the architect, the creator of MLBeavs.com, and a great report today on a former Beaver pitcher who helped the Beavers win the national title in 2018, one Brandon Eisert. The pitch on the way to Ari Silva, 2-hopper wide of first, fielded by Kellen Sheldon, underhands to Gabe Howard covering, and the inning is over. Some Beavers converging today, and so, as always, when they're battling against each other, it's a little good news and a little bad news, and we'll share it when we return. through 5 innings in this non-league affair, and a new pitcher coming in for the Corvallis Knights. We'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. The Knights 1, Gunderson nothing, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Okay, Knights fans, it's time for sit and bounce. We have Joey.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
On all social media sites. Make sure when you take a photo, you tag us, and you might find yourself in a photo collage on the video board in a game later this year. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, X, YouTube.
A high-level non-league game tonight, just in terms of the quality of arms we've been seeing, and much anticipated debut here tonight on the Corvallis Knight side with left-hander Neil Burtis. Now, this is a non-league game, and thus no statistics kept
Leading off the 6th inning, the left fielder,
from an official standpoint, but it is really nice to see Neil, a left-handed pitcher, an incoming freshman out of Tahoma High School in Maple Valley, Washington. 6'2", 180-pound left-hander who will be pitching for the Beavers in the fall, attending school here. And really excited to see Neil go to work. Fastball, a strike. The count 0-1 to Hudson Hammersley, who struck out looking against Morgan Codron in the 3rd. We're in the 6th, 1-0 Knights. The 1-0 pitch, 0-1 pitch, pardon me, is swung on and missed, and the count quickly 0-2 to Hammersley. Cody Samaza on deck. The quick working Burtis makes quick work of Hudson Hammersley. The strike 2 pitch in the turf, gathered by Carter Stewart, throws to Josh Natai for the out. A 3-pitch punch out in a hurry from Neil Burtis. One away, and Cody Samaza, the batter. Cody Suzama. The first pitch on the way is down and away. Cody Suzama out of West Seattle. And Yakima Valley, but Cody, too, hoping at some point to move on to a 4-year institution, takes down and in. 2 balls and no strikes to the count. 1-0 Knights, top of the 6th inning. Neil Burtis back to the plate. Fastball on the inside corner. 2-1 the count. Looking at the left-hander, Burtis makes me think of the left-hander Brandon Eisert in Sydney's report. The 2-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. And just kind of reminds me a little bit of the arm slot and style of watching Eisert pitch here, where the ball it's difficult to track. Kevin Gunderson himself had that. The 2-2 pitch on the way is swung on and missed, and Cody Suzama, I'm sure, would agree. Difficult to track, at least so far the first time around. Back-to-back strikeouts for Burtis, 2 down. Sydney tells me that the White Sox today that Brandon Eisert came into the game against the Cleveland Guardians with the bases loaded and 1 out, and struck out 2 batters to end the inning. He proceeded then into his next inning of work. First batter that he faced was Stephen Kwan, a former Knight and a former Beaver, and Kwan grounded out against his former teammate Brandon Eisert. The pitch on the way from Burtis is whacked into right center field, base hit by Noah Boria. Good swing by Boria going the other way. A 2-out single to right center. Kellen Siegel gets the ball back in. Tyler Sconvienza will be the batter. After getting Kwan to ground out, Travis Bazana, former Corvallis Knight great, former Beaver. Bazana and Eisert did not play with each other, but weren't separated by many years here. And Eisert struck Bazana out. So as I said, there's some good news and bad news in this Beaver versus Beaver report. And you understand however you choose to view it, but good for Eisert, and then he got the next batter that he's faced. So he faced 5, got them all. First pitch from Burtis, a strike to Tyler Sconvienza. The 0-1 pitch is outside from Neal. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. A 2-out single for Noah Boria, held on by Josh Natai. 1-0 Knights in the 6th. The 1-1 pitch down and in, ball 2, 2-1. That's big time for Brandon to come in, bases loaded, 1 out, and strike out the next 2 batters. He's having an excellent season for the White Sox. Fastball just outside from Neal Burtis, and the count goes to 3-1. Tyler Jones on deck. Burtis opened the inning with back-to-back strikeouts, allows a base hit to Boria. 3-1 here, and now ball 4. Tyler Sconvienza drawing the 2-out walk, and Gunderson Academy with 2 down here in the 6th inning, getting a little something going. A good crowd tonight. Goss Stadium at Coleman Field for a non-league game. The Girding Builders Market men here tomorrow. Then it's off to Marion to begin a 3-game series on Friday. The weather changing. I've been told that they have a spot for me in their cozy little press box. I hope so, particularly if it's going to be raining up at Chemeketa Community College on Friday. There's a chance of it anyhow. It seems so unlikely given what we're looking at here tonight. A beautiful summer evening. Thanks for joining us. Tyler Jones takes it down and away, ball 1. 2 on, 2 out, 1-0 Knights. Neal Burtis making his Knights debut, delivers, swung on and tapped foul at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now I realize that this person who I consider a friend and did a great job here, he's long gone now, working in his own world and working on behalf now of Florida down in Gainesville. But Rich Dorman told me he really liked Burtis and the upside for Neal at Oregon State beginning this fall. And this is a guy, just mark the name, Neal Burtis, that Andrew Moore and Mitch Canham and company will be looking to get a lot of innings from next spring. Neal misses down and away. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. The count 2-2, and Neal is a strike away from fanning the side in his Knights debut, albeit in an exhibition affair. But this is a good Gunderson team, one of the better ones that Jake Anders, a 28-year head coach at Lake Oswego High School. The 2-2 pitch is in the turf, ball 3, 3-2. But indeed, a very competitive game, as the scoreboard indicates. 1-0 Knights in the 6th. The runners will go 3-2 with 2 down. Burtis got 2 quick outs, now dealing with some traffic. The runner set to go 3-2, 2 down. Neal steps off and looks back, hoping that perhaps Boria would leave too soon. Noah out of Nelson High School in Happy Valley, a spinoff from Clackamas, and attending Lower Columbia in Longview. He's ready to go from second, Sconvienza from first, and now time called and granted backing out. Tyler Sconvienza with Tyler Jones, the hitter. Sconvienza at first, Boria at second. They're both poised to go. They do, The 3-2 pitch is ball 4. So that easy, simple game that I was sort of just talking about, remembering from Robert Wool, easy game. It is. It is. And when, the commanding the zone, throwing strikes and so on, but that in itself isn't always the easiest. And Bo Kearns, the pitching coach, watching Neil make his debut, is asking for time, and Bo's on his way to the mound. Andrew Moore made it clear today in his introductory press availability, which was in the Beavers clubhouse, the Jacoby Ellsbury clubhouse down the left field line. A goodly number of reporters, writers, radio, television, all there to talk to Andrew coming back home. And Andrew talked about all the tools of the trade and the resources available with Edgertronic and TrackMan, and he named some other tools I'd never heard of, and all of the things that in the analytics world, he says, we have everything. He cited one thing, just one thing maybe in terms of some biomechanics stuff or whatever that the Cleveland Guardians organization has that has trickled down to where Andrew has been coaching the Columbus Clippers in AAA ball. Andrew, a quick ascent through the system as a pitching coach. That's how highly he's regarded in Cleveland. And he said they may have one other tool that we don't have here at Oregon State, but he's got plenty to work with. But he said ultimately, pitching comes down to throwing strikes, which Andrew was a master of in his time here, an All-American, 27-9 in his career. The pitch to Brady Ackerman is high. He said for all the stuff, the velo, all the things you have, you got to be able to command the zone. The 1-0 pitch is outside, ball 2, 2-0. And so we're seeing a little bit of both here from Neil in his night's debut. He struck out the first 2 batters that he faced, and it all looked good. Nice, easy, simple game. Since then, a single, 2 walks, and now 2-0. But he gets a strike here on the 2-0 pitch, 2-1. The bases are loaded with 2 down. The Knights leading 1-0. Brady Ackerman, the exaggerated open stance, awaits Burtis. The 2-1 pitch. Low and inside, ball 3, 3-1. So Neil hoping to find the zone here lest he walk in the tying run. The left-hander comes set. The 3-1 pitch, ball 4. And just as quickly, and as if it's a simple, easy game, doesn't feel so much like it right now as Neil loses command of the zone with 3 straight walks and the tying run in, and that's it. Brooke Knight, whether, this is a principle move, like, okay, this is, the sense of accountability, I'm not sure. Certainly Neil's going to pitch and pitch a lot more, and I think pitch very well for the Knights and for Oregon State in the days to come. But Brooke Knight goes out to get the baseball from Neil Burtis, and part of it is, we're out here to compete and to win, and if you walk 3 in a row and walk in a run, we got to do something about it. So that's okay. It's okay for Neil. I'm sure he understands the shot. But the stuff looks good. He looks good. Just lost some command for a stretch, and we now have a tie game with Noah Boria coming home on the bases-loaded walk. A new pitcher in. We'll take a 90-second pitching change break. It's now Gunderson 1, the Knights 1 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Matthew Sherwood is the new pitcher for the Corvallis Knights, 6'5", 225 out of Pacific Lutheran and Valencia High School in Santa Clarita. Oh my goodness, a little child walking through the ballpark just took a little tumble. She's been walking in the bleachers on her own, but she just took a little tumble and Papa's picked her up and she's howling. She'll be fine, she's okay, but she was given probably a little more latitude than maybe is wise. I don't think Papa's listening to me right now. As cute as can be, she's being comforted and will survive. She's fine, but a little scary taking a little walk along the bleachers and fell down moments ago. That may be the howling you're hearing in the background. It's a tough life. Kellen Sheldon, the first batter that Matthew Sherwood faces. Kellen hits it foul to Waldo Hall off to the left. No balls and a strike. Matthew over the top and delivers down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Kellen Sheldon has walked and singled to right. A 1-1 tie in the top of the 6th inning. 2 quick strikeouts followed by a base hit and 3 straight walks has pulled Gunderson even. Now the pitch to Sheldon hit high in the air to left field. Ari Silva is right there to make the catch. He can pitch, he can hit, he can catch. Good for him to get a start tonight out in left field. But Neil Burtis showed some really good stuff. Back-to-back strikeouts, then a hit and 3 straight walks, but a good learning experience for Neil to get on the mound at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, and he will see it again. Gunderson does pick up a run on a hit, no errors, 3 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th, a 1-1 tie. Gunderson and the Knights back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Bottom of the 6th inning, a 1-1 tie. Gabe Howard ready to go to Mark Carpenter for the Knights. Mark will be followed by Kellen Siegel and then Tate Hammond.
The right fielder from LVCC, number 21, Mark Carpenter.
Carpenter flied to right field against Jonah Barkov. Left-hand, right-hand tandem from the University of Oregon, working against the Corvallis Knights tonight. in a 1-1 tie. Howard to the plate. Fastball up and away to Carpenter. Ball 1. Brooks Hatch has followed up Sydney's excellent report on Boz and Kwan and Brandon Eisert with some more information that I'll share as we go. The 1-0 pitch, a strike to Carpenter. 1-1 the count. Former Knight Brooks Lee from 2019, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Trevor Larnach 0 for 3, a 4-3 Twins loss to the LA Dodgers. The 1-1 pitch on the way, check swing, tap foul at the plate, the count 1-2. Speaking of 2019, one of the things that Andrew Moore said today was probably his proudest moment as a professional pitcher. You remember he went in the second round to the Seattle Mariners out of Oregon State in 2015. Got to the big leagues 2 years later and won his first start against Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers. I remember watching it with Nate Yeske and other Beaver fans in Omaha when the Beavers were in the College World Series in 17, and we went to watch the game on a night off for the Beavs. The 2-2 pitch on the way, a check swing. Carpenter did go around. No swing now on appeal to the base umpire. I think they'll say swing unless he's calling it a foul ball. No swing. Boy, I think the Knights got quite lucky there. I mean, it appeared as though Carpenter had swung. There was some confusion about whether it was, I think, a foul ball or a check swing or a no swing. No swing, say both umpires. Very surprising because I thought Carpenter had struck out, and Mark even tipped his own by starting to run to first. The umpire says no at the plate, and so does Jackson Clark, and the count goes full 3-2 to Carpenter. And now he gets a strikeout, swung on and missed. Gabe Howard delivers, swung on and missed for strike 3. Well, Kevin Gunderson has worked with Gabe Howard and Jonah Barkov. Barkov the starter, Howard in for much of their baseball lives, and he has imparted obviously some good lessons and stuff to them. They both have looked very good. So it may be an exhibition game against guys that, generally speaking, are not in D1 schools. The pitch to Kellen Siegel swung on and missed, but these pitchers have been expressly brought in for this ball game. Jonah Barkov and Gabe Howard, both pitchers at Oregon, and they've looked the part. 0-1 to Kellen, who singled to left and scored the Knights' lone run back in the first. He takes strike 2 on a fastball. 0-2 the count. And Andrew in 2019, 2 years later, after winning his major league debut against the Tigers, pitched some other really good ball games and quality starts, did not get another win in 17. The pitch to Siegel swung on and missed. Down he goes, 2 down. Tate Hammond the batter. Then underwent some real challenging times in the game, and by 2019 was back in Double-A ball and pitching for Mitch Canham, who was the manager at Double-A Arkansas. In 2019, when the Mariners made a call, they needed a spot starter back in the big leagues in 2019. It was on Andrew Moore's birthday, and Mitch Canham and the coaching staff sang "Happy Birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Andrew," on Andrew's birthday in 2019. And as soon as they were done singing "Happy Birthday to Andrew," Mitch said, "Oh, and by the way, you're going to the big leagues tomorrow to pitch for the Seattle Mariners." What a gift and what a moment. Andrew said it was one of his happiest and proudest moments as a baseball player to go back to the big leagues. The strike 2 pitch is ripped into right field by Tate Hammond. Base hit. Tate is on his way for 2. Colby Heron chases the ball down, and Tate into second with a 2-out double. He's 2 for 3 tonight. His out was a productive out, leading to the Knights' lone run in this 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tate early was having some trouble getting hits to fall in, and his overall numbers are still not where he would like them to be, but perhaps this is the type of ball game, an exhibition game that can help get him going a little bit. A throw to second, and Tate back to the bag. The throw from Gabe Howard to Tyler Jones, the shortstop. We're in the bottom of the 6th of a 1-1 tie. Ryan Severns with an RBI ground out back in the 1st, looking for an RBI base hit here. Swings and fouls it straight back. The count 0-1. Ryan flied to center in the 4th. And Andrew talking about all of those things today, but also in the end talked about the craft of pitching, and it all comes down to being able to throw strikes. Now, he talked about tools, he talked about different shapes of fastballs, kick changes, different types of pitches, grips, and all of the things he'll be working on, custom making all of his teaching and coaching for the individual skills and aptitudes of all of the young men he'll be coaching here at Oregon State, recruiting through the portal now and in other areas of recruiting. All of that's so important to the business, but ultimately pitching comes down to being able to command the zone, and he just thinks that, you know, the counts, working, you know, being ahead, not giving up the free stuff. All pitching coaches believe it. Andrew Moore was an excellent practitioner of it himself, and I believe will do a great job of imparting great lessons to the pitchers with the Beavers. The 1-2 pitch to Ryan Severns, a fly ball into right center field. The wind carried it a little bit on Noah Boria, but Noah stays with it to make the catch, and the Knights are gone in the 6th. The 2-out double for Tate Hammond, nothing more. We go to the 7th. Gunderson won, the Knights won, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
On a beautiful night for baseball in the Mid-Valley, the Knights and Gunderson in a non-league game with the Gerding Builders here tomorrow night at 6:35 through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Gunderson Academy 1 run, 3 hits and no errors. The Knights 1 run, 3 hits and no errors. Morgan Codron delivers. The first pitch to Karsten Lemon, a high pop foul off third. Maverick Russell into foul grounds, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 away in the top of the 7th inning. The Knights scoring their run in the first with Gundy's club, the Gunderson Academy, coming through with a run last inning. Colby Heron, the batter. The first pitch to the backstop from Matthew Sherwood. 1 ball and no strikes. Colby out of Canby. The 1-0 pitch, sprayed foul down the left field line in the corner near where the press availability took place earlier today with Andrew Moore meeting with the media for the first time in his new job. 3 kids, one's on the way, but fortunately Taylor Woods, his folks living in Harrisburg, so there's a sense of security there, and Andrew's mother, Estelle, had been living down near Andrew. She may indeed be moving back, but she has been helping with the kids while Andrew has been working diligently in his quick ascent to AAA as the pitching coach for the Guardians in Columbus. The pitch is in there for a strike to Colby Heron, and the count 2-2. Sherwood back to the plate, a line drive base hit to center field, left it out over the plate, and Colby Heron ripped it. Colby out of Canby High, as was one of our all-time favorite Corvallis Knights and Sean Weiss. Sean is playing in Yuba City in the Pioneer League. I had a chance to visit with people that I dearly miss the other day, Casey and Amy Weiss, who sat alongside for 4 summers right here to the left of where I have the pleasure of calling these ball games. I miss the Weiss family. I miss Sean, but glad to know he's still plying his craft as a crafty lefty pitching in the Pioneer League in Yuba City. Hudson Hammersley fouls one to the left and out of play. The left-hand hitting Hammersley looks at strike 2 from Matthew Sherwood. 0-2 the count to Hudson out of Lake Oswego, California. Bradenton, Florida bound. Change-up, swung on, foul tipped and held. Strike 3, 2 down. Nice command of the change for Sherwood. And that'll bring Cody Suzama to the plate. Cody's been up twice and struck out twice. Once against Knights starter Morgan Codron. Then Neil Burtis got him in the 6th. The first pitch to Suzama. This is high and inside, ball 1. Colby Heron, the runner at first. Top of the 7th of a 1-1 tie. The 1-0 pitch is up and in, ball 2, 2-0. Noah Boria, the leadoff hitter, on deck. Things cooling off here, as always, no matter how warm the day. By this time of the night, it's cool and pleasant. The 2-0 fastball, a strike, and the count 2-1. But another 45 minutes from now, the extra layer will be necessary, even after the 90-plus degree day in the Mid-Valley. The 2-1 pitch swung on and hit foul into Urchin Alley. Very little action in the alley tonight. And there goes an urchin or two after the ball. And some curious urchins leaning over the top of the railing, looking down. But the ball has indeed been claimed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sherwood over to first base, back to the bag goes Colby Heron. And a team over here from Bend today. The Field of Dreams team that took the field with the Knights. The 2-2 pitch missing up and in. The Double-A Bend Elks, Corvallis Little League Double-A Bend Elks just wrapped up a great spring season. I'm not sure that I fully understand that verbiage, and I'll have to have someone explain it to me. The runner goes on a 3-2 pitch, a towering pop-up on the infield. A lot of Knights around. Josh Natai calls for it. The first baseman behind the mound makes the catch. The inning is over. No runs, a hit, a man left. It says here, and they were announced this way by Ross Durfeld, the Corvallis Little League Double-A Bend Elks just wrapped up a great spring season, finishing at 10-2, and they took the field tonight with the Knights. I'm not sure I fully understand that. The Corvallis Little League Double-A Bend Elks. Does the Corvallis Little League sprawl into Bend? It's a question that just comes reading that. We go to the bottom of the 7th, a 1-1 tie. Gunderson and the Knights back in 90 on Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Bottom of the 7th inning, a 1-1 tie. Carter Stewart, first ball swinging against Gabe Howard. Fouls it off to the left and out of play. Carter Stewart, Maverick Russell, and Josh Natai. Gabe Howard works from the stretch and comes to the plate, misses down and in to Maverick, who is, or to Carter Stewart, pardon me, who has struck out and grounded to second, with Maverick, who's hit the ball hard twice on deck. 1-1, bottom of the 7th, good ball game. Howard's 1-1 delivery misses high and away, ball 2, 2-1. Completing the Brooks Hatch report. Wade Meckler tonight, interviewed on the pregame show for the LA Angels broadcast, went 2 for 4. A line drive to right field, base hit for Carter Stewart. Good swing for Carter. And we'll see thus how Brooke Knight wants to play it with Maverick Russell, who's lined out and grounded out the batter. We'll see perhaps a hitter, and we will. Ian Draper bats for Maverick Russell. Maverick went 0 for 2, made good contact twice. Now Ian Draper, a pinch hitter in the 7th of this 1-1 tie. He's not bunting, first ball swinging, pops it up, foul off third, and the catcher drops the ball. Karsten Lemon called off the charging third baseman Brady Ackerman. That's an easier play for the third baseman than it is the catcher. But Lemon, as the catcher, sort of has, he's got the rule. He called the third baseman Ackerman off. I think Brady had a better chance to catch it and probably would have. Lemon tried to deal with running out of the catcher's crouch, and I think he threw the mask away. I don't know if he was holding on to it, but he dropped the ball. So Ian Draper's still up there with a count of 0-1. And again, Ian not bunting, takes strike 2, 0-2 the count. Wade Meckler went 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in a 7-6 Angels victory over Baltimore in 10. Nick Madrigal has been designated for assignment, being sent back down after a decent run with the Angels. It was so fun to see Madrigal and Meckler in the lineup, but Nick going back down. The pitch to Draper, pulled foul outside of third. No balls and 2 strikes. Matthew Boyd will pitch tomorrow for the Chicago Cubs. Former Corvallis Knight, former Beaver. Matthew Boyd had a rehab assignment recently, pitched well, and will pitch against the New York Mets on the road tomorrow. That's great news. Out of the stretch works Gabe Howard. The strike 2 pitch is in the turf. Pretty big lead from Carter Stewart. He holds. The count goes to 1-2. As Sydney reported, Quaney went 2 for 4, former Knight today. Travis Bazzana, former Knight, 0 for 5. The Guardians did beat the White Sox in 10, Eisert's exploits notwithstanding, 4-3. Slider away, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ian Draper. Pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 7th of a 1-1 tie. Carter Stewart at first, nobody out. Adley Rutschman is on the concussion protocol list for Baltimore. Michael Conforto for the Cubs today went 1 for 4 with a run batted in a 10-3 Cubs victory over the New York Mets. So thanks to Sydney, thanks to Brooks. Meanwhile here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the pitch to Ian Draper, pulled foul outside of third. Some new baseballs being brought to the home plate umpire, Ed Smith. New baseballs, brighter and cleaner baseballs. One of the more significant moves in the evolution and the history of the game of baseball. The use of more baseballs during the course of a game. The 2-2 pitch, fresh or new, clean or not. Karsten Lemon can't stop it. It gets by him for a wild pitch. The Knights parlayed a wild pitch into a run in the first inning. Hope to do so here and untie this ball game in the seventh. 1-1, bottom of the seventh. Carter Stewart at second, nobody out. 3-2 to Ian Draper. It was 0-2, now 3-2. Howard to the plate, a long drive to left. This should be deep enough to get the runner moved again. Hammersley back to make the catch, tagging up and going from second to third is Carter Stewart on the fly ball to left. Well done by Ian Draper. One away, but a productive out, a la the first inning, when the Knights used a base hit, a wild pitch, and a fly ball to left to get Kellen Siegel to third. Kellen then came home on a ground out from Ryan Severns. That's the Knights' only run. Now here in the bottom of the seventh, they have a chance to pick up another. Jake Anders pulls his infield in. Howard to the plate. Natai swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Josh has been up twice and struck out twice. Needs to find a way to put the ball in play here. A 1-1 tie. Josh looking for a run batted in. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed in the count 0-2. Carter Stewart at third and one out. Josh trying to battle now and show a good two-strike approach. The infield all in. Gabe Howard from the stretch. The strike two pitch to Josh. Swung on and missed. Strike three, 2 down. Tough night for Josh. He's been up 3 times and struck out 3 times, all swinging. Xavier Rios has struck out and lined out. Kevin Gunderson, I think it's Gundy himself, trotting out to the mound to visit with a guy that he's been coaching from a very young age. Gabe Howard, part of Kevin Gunderson's academy for the last several years and even before that. So one of Gundy's prized pupils gets a quick visit from Kevin. I mean, it was very quick. Maybe, perhaps just wanting to make sure he still feels good to keep going as he deals with Xavier Rios. But a good 3-pitch punch out by Gabe Howard of Josh Natai. Xavier Rios has struck out and lined out, looking for a clutch 2-out hit to try to get Carter Stewart home and give the Knights the lead back. Xavier pops one foul into Urchin Alley to the right. No balls and 1 strike. A poor Urchin leaves his spot to the left and trying to get down there, but way too late. There's already urchins out there, young man, and he's leaving to the left of me now. He should stay out there a while and maybe he'll get rewarded. But I love to see the hustle when he saw the ball land in the alley. Fastball low, the count 1-1. 1-1, bottom of the 7th inning. Carter Stewart at third with 2 down. Gabe Howard to the plate. Strike 2 on the inner half. Well, the Knights are indeed measuring themselves against some very good arms. A well-pitched ball game by both teams tonight. A run, 4 hits for both, Gunderson and the Knights. Gabe Howard trying to slam the door on the Knights in the 7th and keep it a 1-1 game. Xavier Rios takes down and away, ball 2, 2-2. Ari Silva on deck. Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Carter Stewart at third, Gabe Howard from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch way outside, ball 3. 3-2. I mentioned Gundy going out just to inquire with Gabe Howard maybe how Gabe's feeling. The Truth of the matter, there's no one throwing back of Howard. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Xavier. Carter Stewart at third, 2 down. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3, and the Knights are gone. They had a great opportunity here. Runner at second, nobody out, but come up empty. We go to the 8th. Gunderson won, the Knights won back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
And the communities that call it home. Our forests provide renewable wood products, beautiful views, and recreational opportunities in Benton, Lynn, and Lincoln counties. Come spend time in our forests. Starford Forests, growing forests, not just trees.
New pitcher for the Knights from Western Oregon University, number 6, Zane Garvey.
He should love Jacoby. I just met a gentleman, Taylor, who loved Jacoby Ellsbury when he, growing up in Martha's Vineyard, going to high school there, Taylor, wearing a vintage Corvallis Knights cap from a couple of summers ago, not many made. He's wearing one. He's sitting to my right. He introduced himself, friends with my daughter Lydia and with Reagan from Ironhead Roofing, which is sponsoring tonight's Mental Health Awareness Night. They're all sitting to my right, and Taylor and I were just talking about his days in Martha's Vineyard and his love for the Red Sox and his particular fondness for Jacoby Ellsbury, a former West Coast League ball player in Bend Elk and one of the all-time Beaver greats. As we move on to the top of the 8th of a 1-1 tie, first pitch fastball from the Knights' new pitcher, Zane Garvey, swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike. Zane getting a little two-way experience with the Knights now. He's been a position player and a very good one. Signed originally on a 10-day contract and held over. Out of Western Oregon, he 7 appearances and 2 saves for the Wolves this past spring. The pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 0-2 to Noah Boria. Garvey to the plate and bounces his strike 2 pitch, but good to see Zane. We've seen Ari Silva, who's playing left field tonight, has been a pitcher, now getting a chance to swing the bat and play a position. Ari in left, Zane Garvey has been an outstanding outfielder for the Knights, now gets a chance to pitch for the first time this summer. Comes to the plate, fastball hit over my head into Urchin Alley, and that poor Urchin didn't stay, and he's hustling down the stairs again, and Dad or whoever needs to keep him out there and let him, if he comes back up here, he's got no shot at it. Stay with him down there, Pops. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Noah Boria. The 1-2 pitch, a check swing, he went around. The pitch was in the turf for strike 3. The throw from Carter Stewart into foul territory to Josh Natai to get Boria. 1 away in the top of the 8th of this 1-1 tie, and Tyler Sconvienza will be the batter. Garvey 6'4", 190 out of Southridge in Beaverton. Really good year in Monmouth. Played in 50 games, hit .306. couple of homers and 24 RBIs, had the aforementioned 7 appearances on the mound, gets his first appearance in this non-league affair against the Gunderson Academy tonight. Misses inside to Sconvienza. The 1-0 pitch to Tyler, up and in for ball 2. 2-0 the count. A 1-1 tie, top of the 8th. The 2-0 fastball swung on and missed, and the count 2-1. And there he is back in his seat. I almost feel like somebody needs to talk about the strategy to be deployed. The young man, I can tell, is very upset. The 2-1 pitch is a strike, and the count 2-2. And home plate umpire Ed Smith was ready to go into his Ed Runge Dutch Renard act and ring him up, and then he looked at his indicator. Oh, sorry, it's 2-2. He may get another chance. Fastball swung out and missed, strike 3. 2 down. The best call in one of the, it's a winsome, delightful, to me, hilarious scene with Leslie Nielsen and the Naked Gun as the baseball umpire. when he gets into the spirit of things with his moonwalk strike called Steve Wright, calling it before the pitch even lands in the catcher's mitt. I mean, it's brilliant stuff. The writers of those shows, the original material in the 6 police squads leading to all the Naked Guns. I'm not sure I like all the Naked Gun movies that well, but the 6 police squad episodes, absolute gold. The 1-0 pitch to Tyler Jones, a strike, and the count 1-1. 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 8th inning. A 1-1 tie. Zane Garvey has struck out the first 2 Gunderson Academy players he's faced, and he delivers an off-speed pitch to Tyler, swung on and missed, in the count 1-2. Tyler Jones in the portal. He ain't alone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Garvey delivers in the turf, in the count 2-2. And Andrew was telling me today, you know, he was asked about recruiting in the press availability, Andrew Moore. Yes, recruiting very important. Right now, the portal is the priority in terms of visits being made by student athletes in the portal. The 2-2 pitch missing away for ball 3, 3-2. This very day, there were a couple of people in on visits coming through the portal. Kind of a Twilight Zone-esque experience from what I understand. 3-2, 2 down, nobody on, top of the 8th, a 1-1 tie. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Zane Garvey getting his first pitching licks in this summer. Strikes out the side, and we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Knights looking to break this 1-1 tie. Here comes Paul again, so I'll find out what my latest mistake is. We are through 7.5. It remains the Knights 1 and Gunderson 1 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. A 1-1 tie to the bottom of the 8th inning. A beautifully pitched ball game by both teams. Wade Hagee hopes to continue in that vein. Coming in for Gunderson Academy in the bottom of the 8th. Hagee out of Wilsonville and will be attending Lane Community College. Ari Silva has grounded out twice, will lead things off. Ari will be followed by Mark Carpenter and then Kellen Siegel in this non-league affair. The Knights and Gunderson Academy, bottom of the 8th inning. Hagee to the plate, misses high, ball 1. Gunderson Academy just beginning what Jake Anders said is about a 30-game schedule. Jake, the head coach for Gunderson's team, and this is their 3rd game this summer. They've got about 27 more. The 1-0 pitch outside from Hagee, ball 2. 2-0 to Ari Silva. Brooke Knight has had very little company. He's over at 3rd. Marcus Matias at 1st. The Knights' only run coming back in the 1st inning. The 2-0 pitch is outside, ball 3. 3-0 to Ari Silva. And Brooke, in search of company, is leaving his box to go down and talk to somebody down the line. I'm not sure whom or why, but Brooke has vacated his post to talk to somebody in the Knights bullpen. That somebody's Kellen Siegel. The 3-0 pitch is high for ball 4. I think Kellen is going to get ready. That might have been the whole point. Get yourself up and ready to go, because we're going to score a run here and need you to save the game in the 9th. I think that's kind of what's going on here. The 3-0 pitch to Ari Silva is high, ball 4. And Brooke Knight communicates something to Bo Kearns, the pitching coach. Kellen Siegel is on deck. Kellen's the center fielder, so if he's down getting ready in the bullpen and is supposed to hit, there may be some other moving parts to this whole half inning, the way it plays out in the bottom of the 8th of a 1-1 tie. Hagee misses again. Wade walking Silva on 4 pitches, misses to Mark Carpenter, who was not showing bunt. Brooke a little distracted right now about the whole pitching situation. Usually, in most situations, bunts here, but in this case, Carpenter looked at ball 1. So this will be an interesting sort of dynamic for Brooke and Bo to deal with. If they want to bring Kellen in, he's also the on-deck hitter. Looks like they brought a hitter off. Might be Max Medina. 1 ball and no strikes the count, and now Carpenter is bunting and looks at the 1-0 pitch high, ball 2, 2-0. Max Medina's on deck. But I don't think he can't hit for Siegel and Siegel re-enter the game. I don't think so anyway. I don't understand all these things. The 2-0 pitch, Carpenter takes a strike and the count 2-1. Coach Knight goes through the signs again. The Knights scoring a run in the 1st. The lone run for Gunderson in the 6th. 1-1, bottom of the 8th, runner at 1st, nobody out. The pitch on the way misses high to Carpenter, ball 3. 3-1. Good ball game, well pitched. A lot of camps and things going on around campus. I see as campers from some sports walking down the railroad track area. The 3-1 pitch to Carpenter is in there for a strike. And the count to Mark is 3-2. Mark has flied to right and struck out. Very busy driving into the ballpark tonight. Teams, many of them in various camps, walking about campus. A good sight to see. 3 balls and 2 strikes with Ari Silva, the runner at 1st. The 3-2 pitch, breaking ball taken. Strike 3 called. 1 away. Good job by Wade Hagee. Max Medina will hit for Kellen Siegel. Max is summoned off the Knights bench here in the bottom of the 8th of a 1-1 tie. Nice recovery by Hagee to get a big out. Wade works from the stretch, kicks and delivers, breaking ball down, ball 1. And by that, I mean he walked Silva on 4 pitches and was behind 2-0 to Carpenter. And appeared to be setting up well for the Knights to perhaps get a couple of people on with nobody out and then bunt and try to get that go-ahead run in. But Hagee came back from 2-0 and 3-1 to get a strikeout. He misses again here to fall behind 2-0 to pinch hitter Max Medina, bottom of the 8th, the 1-1 tie. Ari Silva at first. The 2-0 pitch to the backstop, and the Knights get their runner moved up on the wild pitch. So Carpenter was up there hoping to bunt Silva over. Wasn't able to get it done, but the wild pitch accomplishes it, and the count runs to 3-0 to pinch hitter Max Medina in this 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tate Hammond, who's hit the ball hard tonight, on deck. The 3-0 pitch down the middle for a strike. 3-1 to Max Medina, coming off the bench to pinch hit. A 1-1 tie, the go-ahead run at second represented by Ari Silva. Wade Hagee kicks and comes with a 3-1 pitch in there for strike 2. 3-2 the count. Hagee trying to do his thing again and come all the way back. Good crowd tonight, 1,154. The 3-2 pitch on the way, lifted to right and playable. Colby Heron moving over, makes the catch. Silva tags and goes to third. 2 down, and Tate Hammond will be the hitter.
Now batting your second baseman from UCLA, number 10, Tate Hammond.
Ari Silva to third with 2 down. Tate Hammond has flied to left to advance a runner. Singled to right and doubled to right. Looking for his third hit to give the Knights the lead, and he's hit by the first pitch that he sees from the left-hander Wade Hagee, giving Ryan Severns, who drove in the Knights' first and only run, with a chance to drive in what he hopes could be a winning run. Bottom of the 8th, the 1-1 tie.
Playing for your Knights, the shortstop from UC Santa Barbara, number 28, Ryan Severns.
First and third, 2 down. Ryan Severns awaits the pitch on the way from Hagee, popped foul to the right and into the Omaha Room lower grandstand. No balls and a strike to Ryan Severns out of Fontana, Etiwanda High School. Getting ready for his sophomore year at the University of California, Santa Barbara. First and third, 2 down and a 1-1 tie. The left-hander Wade Hagee comes to the plate. Line down the left field line, foul. And the count to Severns, no balls and 2 strikes. When the Knights and Gunderson played last year, it was on July 1st. And it was another good ball game that night, too. First and third, 2 down, a 1-1 tie. Out of the stretch works Wade Hagee. The left-hander to the plate, sprayed foul down the right field line and out of play. For whatever reason, on my score sheet for that night, I have the following from St. Augustine. Quote, catch this. He was a high-minded theologian, was Augustine. Quote, for we do not entirely forget what we remember that we have forgotten. If we had completely forgotten it, we should not even be able to look for what was lost. Now, what the great Saint was getting at, I know not, but he could be a little abstruse. For we do not entirely forget what we remember that we have forgotten. I'm sure he's right. I'm sure he's right. The pitch missing outside, 1-2 the count. Now, why I have that on my baseball score sheet, I know not. Ari Silva at third, Tate Hammond at first, 2 down, a 1-1 tie. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3 to end the inning. The Knights, even in a non-league game, some of the frustrations that they have been experiencing in dropping under 500 in league play manifesting themselves again tonight. They not able to get a run home when Ari Silva was at second with 1 out. Well, the Knights will make a pitching change, and it is Kellen Siegel who was hit for. So again, I'm going to have to check with Brooks. There are scoring rules, even after all these years around the game, that I don't fully understand. Siegel's coming in to pitch after he was pinch hit for. So there's a rule involved that I've never fully understood. Maybe because I grew up before the DH, I don't know. I did. We go to the ninth. Gunderson won, the Knights won. Back in 2, I need the time to check things out on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
So Kellen Siegel is into the game in a 1-1 tie in the top of the 9th inning. I was away for a while, wandering over to talk to a guy who knows more about the game and scoring rules. And there's a lot of people but he knows way more about the rules, but he too said, I don't know why Kellen's allowed to come into the game now after being pinch hit for, unless there was some sort of stipulation, it being a non-league game, that the coaches agreed upon before the game. Kellen Siegel was pinch hit for by Max Medina, and now he's in the game pitching for the Corvallis Knights here in the top of the 9th inning. The first pitch from Kellen, lifted foul into Urchin Alley. And the Urchins give chase, and the count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Oh, and 1 the count. Kellen back to the plate and bounces his 0-1 pitch. So, you know, if anybody knows what, is it a non-league game type provision? Or is there something that neither Brooks Hatch nor yours truly knows about rules when it comes to inserting pitchers who when Kellen began the game as the center fielder and was hit for, Brooks and I both shrugged our shoulders and said, I don't know. He didn't know. If Brooks doesn't know, I don't feel bad about not knowing, unless it's something agreed upon by the coaches beforehand in a non-league game. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Kellen to the plate, fastball, a two-hopper to the hole at short. Severance backhands and fires a strike over to Josh Natai. One away in the top of the ninth of a 1-1 tie. Brady Ackerman, I wish I could see the ZZ Top bearded one here. I'm told he was going to be here and say hi to Ken. Oh, I see a heavy beard behind the Gunderson dugout. See if that's Ken. I don't think so. Kenny had dark hair. Here's a chopper up along third. Charged by Maverick Russell. The throw to first is not in time. Close play, but I think the right call. Good speed down the line from Kellen Sheldon. Little topper up along third. Maverick made a good play, but Sheldon's wheels get him an infield single in this 1-1 tie in the top of the ninth inning. A run, 5 hits now for Gunderson. A run, 4 hits for the Knights. Karsten Lemon, the hitter. Siegel to the plate. Kellen misses low, ball 1. Karsten has struck out, grounded into a double play, and popped out to third. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. Siegel looks over at Kellen Sheldon, who appears to be a very good runner. Held on by Josh Natai. The 1-1 pitch down and away, ball 2. Decent count here, 2-1, an action count perhaps. Kellen getting his lead in this 1-1 tie. Kellen Siegel to the plate, slider, good pitch for a strike, and the count 2-2. When the Knights bat in the bottom of the ninth, Carter Stewart, Ian Draper, and Josh Natai, the scheduled hitters. The 2-2 pitch pulled foul. Ian Draper now at third for Maverick Russell. Kellen Siegel hoping to put up a 0 and that the Knights can walk it off in the bottom of the ninth inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Karsten Lemon with a runner at first and 1 out. Kellen comes set. The 2-2 pitch to the backstop, a wild pitch. Kellen Sheldon to second base with the count going full to 3-2. Carter out for a quick word with his battery mate Kellen Siegel. Ball game that's moved on pretty quickly here tonight. A 1-1 tie in the top of the ninth inning. The Knights will be home tomorrow night to Girding Builders, and then at Marion at Chemeketa Community College Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. More baseballs brought out again to home plate umpire Ed Smith. Well, there was a time, and it took quite a while for baseball to come around. The same baseball. Foul balls would be returned, baseballs beat up, smudged, dirty would be used for many games. The pitch is belted to left, moving back is Ari Silva to make the catch. Good play by Ari, tagging up, going from second to third, Kellen Sheldon. Good contact for Carson Lemon. 2 down in the top of the ninth inning. Gunderson with a chance to take the lead with a 2-out hit with Colby Heron, a left-handed hitter, 2 for 3 coming to the plate. Colby doubled in the second, has struck out and singled to center. The pitch on the way from Kellen, good fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. I'd have to dig in a little bit to some of my baseball history notes to know exactly when a premium was placed on getting cleaner, brighter, whiter, newer baseballs into the game action, but there were a lot of years at turn of the century, early years, into the 10s, even into the teens in 1910, 1915 to 20, where baseballs, there weren't very many of them, and were used until the point, and then the spitter was also allowed. Tough to hit with power when you couldn't really see the dirty ball. The strike 2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3, Kellen Siegel has another strong inning of work. That has been the accent tonight for both clubs, indeed, on pitching. But the Knights need a run to win as we go to the bottom of the ninth. The go-ahead run for Gunderson left stranded at third. Good ball game. The Knights hope to break through against Wade Hagee and win it in the bottom half. After 8.5, Gunderson won, the Knights won. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pope's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Bottom of the ninth inning, a 1-1 tie in a very well-pitched ball game. Dan Siegel has texted me about my puzzlement over the Corvallis Little League. This I did not know. Thank you, Dan, for the clarification. We were talking earlier about the Bend Elks taking the field on this Field of Dreams, running out with the Knights when they were introduced. The Corvallis Little League names all of its teams after West Coast League clubs instead of giving them other names, Red Sox, Yankees, Mariners, whatever. So that's why there's a Corvallis Little League team known as the Bend Elks. So there must be some Yakima Valley Pippins and Marion Berries, and et cetera, et cetera. Springfield Drifters, that's cool. I like it. Good tradition. Bottom of the ninth inning, a 1-1 tie. Carter Stewart takes Wade Hagee's first pitch for a strike. Dan, do you know why Kellen's allowed to pitch? He's pitched, he looked good. The strike 1 pitch low, and the count 1-1. I mean, this whole re-entry, I mean, he was hit for as the Knights starting center fielder and then came in to pitch. So where does that leave him if the game continues, if he were to continue to pitch? The 1-1 pitch, losing the DH, and I assume Kellen, well, he's already been hit for, so he can't go back in another spot in the lineup. So I just, it must be a provision for a non-league game somehow. 2 balls and a strike, meanwhile, to Carter Stewart. Bottom of the ninth of a 1-1 tie. Wade Hagee pitched out of some trouble in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss by Carter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I like how Hagee's looking too. He's out of Wilsonville and en route to Lane Community College. But he's also a guy, just watching him operate, that looks like he would have a chance to move on from LCC down the road. Breaking ball fouled at the plate to an opportunity at a 4-year school, and maybe a pretty good one at that. And the pitching has been excellent tonight for both teams. Jonah Barkoff, Gabe Howard, Wade Hagee, in his second inning of work, trying to send this ball game to extra innings. Bottom of the ninth, a 1-1 tie. Carter Stewart leading matters off. Ian Draper on deck. The 2-2 pitch to Carter taken in the turf. Ball 3, 3-2. Should we get to a runner on in ball 4? Ian Draper will try to bunt him over, almost certainly. A 1-1 tie, bottom of the ninth inning. 3-2 to Carter Stewart. Wade Hagee from the stretch. The left-hander out of Wilsonville delivers. Swung on a line drive to center field. Coming in a hurry, laying out and making a nice catch is Noah Boria. One away. Good play. That'll bring to the plate Ian Draper. Ian is lined out, grounded to second, and flied to left field. Ian Draper still being listed on the scoreboard. We've got to get that changed, and maybe I can get it to Ross Durfeld, who just announced again Ian from the University of Washington. Ian Draper is University of Portland bound out of the portal. He takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. Hagee works from the stretch with the bases empty. The left-hander's 1-0 pitch, down and in, ball 2. I give Hagee credit. He's flirted with trouble. He issued a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 8th. He also hit a batter. He was behind 2-0, 3-1 to a couple of hitters, but put up a 0. He's now 2-0 on Ian Draper. Wade ready, delivers, swung on and missed, and the count 2-1. Josh Natai on deck. Josh, even though he scuffled a bit tonight with the 3 strikeouts, is a guy with a left-handed matchup who could end it with 1 swing. The 2-1 pitch, a fly ball to left field. Hudson Hammersley lays out, and he makes the catch in left. 2 down. Back-to-back nice catches by the outfielders for Gunderson. They're fired up, playing good baseball, pitching and defense. Good catch by Hammersley. 2 down, and Josh Natai the batter. Josh has struck out 3 times, but it could end up being a big night for him if he can find a pitch to tie into. Tremendous raw power, a guy that figures to be an important player for the Beavers next spring. In this non-league affair, looking to get a pitch he can handle to at least get on base. Zane Garvey is on deck. The pitch missing down and in to Josh. 1-0 the count, 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the ninth, a 1-1 tie. The 1-0 pitch, that's inside for ball 2. 2-0 to Josh. And again, Hagee has been behind virtually every hitter. 2-0, some cases 3-1. He's walked a batter, hit a batter, but here in the inning, 2 2-0 counts have led to outs. He's 2-0 on Natai. The 2-0 pitch swung on and fouled at the plate by Josh, and the count 2-1. Xavier Rios was the designated hitter. Zane Garvey, when the Knights, they lost the DH by inserting, well, Garvey came in. I'm not quite sure how it's all playing out tonight from a pure scoring standpoint in the official scorebook. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Josh takes outside, ball 3, 3-1. Zane Garvey came in as a pitcher, stays in the game evidently as a DH since he's no longer pitching, and Kellen Siegel can't hit, I guess. The 3-1 pitch, Natai taps it foul at the plate, just trying to figure it all out as we go. 3-2 to Josh, 2 down, nobody on, and a 1-1 tie. There's a baseball on the field I'm surprised no one has seen. It's out there on the warning track down the left field line. and no one has drawn attention to it. And as long as there's not a ball hit foul down that way for people to stumble and fumble around on, it's okay. But I'd hate to see anybody run into it. 3-2, 2 down. The pitch to Josh is high and away, and now somebody is finding the ball just now. It was out there for the entire Nati plate appearance. Mac Zostowski finds it. Good for Mac. Ball 4 to Nati. The winning run at first with 9th inning. And Zane Garvey getting his first at bat. He's also pitched. Xavier Rios was 0 for 3. Garvey gets a chance to hit. Nati at first with 2 down. Zane takes high, ball 1. Ari Silva on deck, and Kevin Gunderson, the head coach, Gundy out to talk to Wade Hagee. Gundy was such a great competitor, and Kevin Gunderson, the pitching coach, and Jacoby Ellsbury and the Beavers went to Omaha in 05. Jacoby was the best player in the Pac-10 Conference, Player of the Year in 2005. Jacoby only hit .406 for the Beavers in 05. Ended up being a first-round pick of the Boston Red Sox. That in the 2005 draft, that spring, we went to a ball game, Lydia and yours truly and my wife and my other daughter, Ellie L. She goes by Elle now. Spencer Ellsbury, Jacoby's brother. We sat in what is now T-Mobile Park and watched Johnny Damon right below us. And I said to Jacoby, that'll be you in a couple of years. And I turned out to be right. The Red Sox drafted him. Theo Epstein had been at the Beavers Husky series at Husky Ballpark, and I'd interviewed Theo under the grandstands in Seattle. Said, what brings you to Seattle, Theo? Well, I can't really say, but you got a player we're kind of interested in. And it turned out to be Jacoby and Gundy and Jacoby. Gundy just paid his visit, and that's a little Gundy, Jacoby, Oregon State baseball history for my friend Taylor, Red Sox fan and Jacoby fan out of Martha's Vineyard, sitting to my right. The 2-0 pitch is high, ball 3, 3-0. Meanwhile, to Zane Garvey with Josh Nati at first, bottom of the 9th inning, a 1-1 tie, 3-0 to Zane. Wade Hagee works from the stretch, comes to the plate very high, ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and Gundy is Jake Anders, the head coach, is gonna make the move here. Gundy went out for a visit. They've got a guy coming out of the bullpen, but the Knights have the winning run at second in the bottom of the 9th inning, a 1-1 tie. We're going to see a giant of a man that the Gunderson Academy players know well. I don't know if it's Big Bad John, but we got a big guy coming in a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 9th, 2 on. A giant of a man that the players know well. I don't know who it is, but we're going to find out as we come back in 2 minutes with the Knights trying to win it in the bottom of the 9th, the 1-1 tie, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Victoria. Cam Lewis leading Corvallis in the top of the 8th, 7-0. The bottom of the 9th. Excuse me, top of the 9th. Walla is up 4-3 in Springfield. In the top of the 8th, Wenatchee is up 11-4 at Yakima. Bellingham is leading Fort Andrews 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Bend is up 3-1 on Ridgefield in the bottom of the 8th. In the bottom of the 6th, the Berries are up 8-5 at Portland.
A big man indeed, Connor Lemon, 6'5", 235-pounder, out of Oregon City High School and Clackamas Community College, is brought in the bottom of the 9th inning of a 1-1 tie. A right-hander, yes, but the control issues of Wade Hagee preclude Wade from staying in the game, even with a left-on-left matchup potentially presenting itself, with Ari Silva stepping in. Ari with a chance to win it for the Knights here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Takes low, ball 1-0, and that would be a nice note for Ari, getting his first opportunity as a position player here tonight. He'll be a two-way player at LMU in the fall and next spring, trying to win it for the Knights with a base hit. He slices the 1-0 pitch, foul down the left field line and out of the reach of the hustling Hudson Hammersley. The count goes to 1-1. Two quick outs in the inning on nice catches from Noah Boria in center and Hudson Hammersley in left. But since Wade Hagee, who's been flirting with trouble with respect to his control tonight, after two outs, walked Josh Natai, walked Zane Garvey. 1-1 on Ari Silva. Natai the winning run at second. Bottom of the 9th inning, a 1-1 tie. The big right-hander Lemon to the plate and misses down and in. Ball 2. 2-1. Mark Carpenter on deck. Josh Natai walking away from second, the winning run. Zane Garvey at first, 2 down. The 2-1 pitch, golfed foul past Marcus Matias, the Knights' first base coach, and that evens the count to Ari at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two on and 2 out. Ari looking for a pitch that he can handle, find a hole, and win it for the Knights here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball up and away, ball 3. That gives the runners the opportunity, and Natai's the one that counts. The runner at second, a chance to take off on the pitch. 3-2, 2 down. Josh Natai at second, Zane Garvey at first. A 1-1 tie. The runners go. The 3-2 pitch is low and inside to load them up. Mark Carpenter, the batter. It is an odd development in a ball game that has been so impressively pitched that the Knights would gladly take another Jim Boughton special here to win it. But the game has been beautifully pitched by both clubs, and yet now 3 straight walks puts Gunderson in jeopardy in a 1-1 tie. The pitch to Carpenter is low. Ball 1, 1-0. The only run of the game for Gunderson came in the 6th inning on a bases loaded walk. The Knights would gladly take a walk-off walk. Natai at third, Garvey at second, Silva at first, Carpenter at the plate in a 1-1 tie. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. Clearly Carpenter was taking all the way. Now he will hit away if he likes the pitch. Oh, he called it a ball? Oh, I thought it was in there, and I thought he was raising his right arm. Ball 2, 2-0, okay. Lemon ready, the 2-0 pitch. That's a strike. And now the count 2-1. I thought the previous pitch might have been knee high, but the Knights got the benefit of the doubt. Now 2-1 with the bases loaded, 2 down. A bunch of campers on scooters heading by down past the Beavers hitting facility. The 2-1 pitch is down and away, ball 3, 3-1. So in a game that has been a pitcher's classic, a pitcher's duel, it could come down to ball 4 and a win right here for the Knights. They'll take it. Fans on their feet cheering on that possibility. Natai at third, Garvey at second, Silva at first, 2 down. 3-1 to Mark Carpenter. Big Connor Lemon. Oh my gosh, a pitch clock violation. That's the game. That would be the game, wouldn't it? If that's a pitch clock violation on the pitcher, it's ball 4 and the game is over. The base umpire, Jackson Clark, is saying that's a pitch clock violation. If so, that's ball 4 and the game is over. Now, and because of this being an exhibition game of sorts, a non-league game, there might be an agreement saying, hey, we'll wave it off, we'll wink at it under these circumstances. The umpires are talking about it, and it almost seems as though the home plate umpire, Ed Smith, may talk his partner out of it. And apparently so. It is not ball 4. It is no pitch, no call. The count 3-1, it remains. Up on the scoreboard, I see something I've never seen before. It said 4-1 under the ball component, B4S1. It was 4-1 on the board. But here we go again. It's still 3-1. It did seem pretty quick for a pitch clock violation. Lemon ready. The 3-1 pitch swung on and missed. And the count 3-2. Wow. That's a strange turn of events. Here we go. 3-2, 2 down, bottom of the 9th inning. The runners will go, but it's Natai, of course, that counts. 3-2, 2 down, bases loaded, a 1-1 tie. The 3-2 pitch, ball 4, and the Knights win it. Natai touches home. All the runners touch their bases, including Mark Carpenter, who draws the game-winning walk-off walk. And the Knights, in a game so beautifully pitched by both teams, with 2 outs and nobody on, draw 4 consecutive walks and walk off Gunderson Academy by a final score of 2-1. Kind of a inappropriate, less than fitting way to end a game that was so well pitched. But the Knights will take it. And a big hug from Jake Anders to Bo Kearns down below. And hugs also all around Kevin Gunderson, Brooke Knight. Gundy was on Brooke's staff in 2017 and helped the Knights win the West Coast League title. The Knights win it here 2-1. It's another non-league game coming tomorrow. It'll be the Girding Builders Marketmen, and that'll be tomorrow at 6:35. We'll be on the air at 6:20. Perhaps I'll have a chance to visit with Morgan Codron, who is our Washington Park Advisors player of the game. The Knights 2 on the walk-off walk. The Knights 2, Gunderson 1. It was nice to see Gundy and a good crowd tonight in this non-league affair. 1,154. The Knights win it 2-1 for our crew tonight. Ever Barty, Brian Thomas, Haley Lupe, and Dale Hummel. This is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. Again, our final score, the Knights 2 and the Gunderson Academy 1. Get here early for baseball giveaway tomorrow night, brought to you by Oregon Community Credit Union. The Knights win 2-1. See you tomorrow, 6:20, right back here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.
It's baseball giveaway night presented by Oregon Community Credit Union. The first 250 fans in the park